Hello, Mrityans. I hope you all are fine. So, we were discussing our chapter Web Applications. In the first video, I had covered first session, that is working with accessibility options, where you learn to use accessibility options in Windows XP. Then I introduced the second session, that is networking fundamentals. This session introduces you to the basic fundamental concepts of networking, internet, and using different types of internet connection. We were done with the network architectures, that is peer-to-peer architecture and client-server architecture. Also, we learn about the types of networks, that is LAN and WAN. Then internet, World Wide Web. Now I am going to proceed with the getting access to the internet. To use the internet, you need an internet connection. Internet connection are provided by internet service providers such as Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited BSNL, Airtel, MTS, Vodafone, Tata Docomo, etc. Next is internet service providers. Now, what are internet service providers? An ISP is an organization which provides you with access to the internet via dial-up or direct or wireless connections. Dial-up are using modems. Direct are using hardwired. So choosing connectivity depends on the availability of the particular technology, speed and connection type in your area. Usually, small and medium business users, home users use connectivity types such as DSL, cable modem, dial-up, broadband wireless, WiMAX, or 3G. Medium to large business users or customers with more demanding requirements may use high-speed connectivity such as DSL with high speed, ISDN, etc. The next is modem. A modem is a device that converts digital computer signal into a form analog signals that can travel over phone lines. It also reconverts the analog signals back to the digital signals. The word modem is derived from its function modulator and demodulator. Next is types of common internet connectivity. There are different types of internet connectivity available today. It can be widely categorized into wired and wireless access. Following cable is a summary of different types of internet connectivity categorized into wired and wireless. Technology, that is dial-up, DSL, cable internet access, these are having the connectivity wired, and 3G, WiMAX, Wi-Fi, these are wireless connectivities. The next topic is data transfer on the internet. Having talked of data transfer and the internet, have you ever wondered how sitting in one corner of the world you get information from another distant area in a few seconds? In very simple language, let's see what happens to the piece of data, say web page, when it is transferred over the internet. In the first step, the data is broken up into bits of same sized pieces called packets. A header is added to each packet explaining where the data has come from, where it should end up, and where it fits in with the rest of the packets. Each packet is sent from the computer to computer until it finds its destination. Each computer on the way decides where next to send the packet. All packets may not take the same route. All the destination the packets are examined. If any packets are missing or damaged, a message is sent asking from them to be resent. This continues until all packets have been received intact. The packets are now reassembled into their original form. All this done in seconds. Now we are moving to the next session, that is Introduction to Instant Messaging. Instant messaging is a form of communication over the internet that offers an instantaneous transmission of text-based messages from sender to receiver. Most instant messaging softwares include the option for performing file transfers, audio chat, video calling, and conferencing, sharing desktops, etc. Apart from standard text chat, instant messaging software is widely used for personal and commercial use. Unlike email, instant messaging happens in real time and the response from the participants can be spontaneous. Some instant messaging softwares allows users to view messages received when they are not logged on. These are called offline messages. For utilizing audio and video chat or conferencing, you need to have microphones and headsets or speakers and web cameras so that users can talk or see each other. Key features of an instant messaging are as follows. Text messages can be sent to one or more person. Audio calling and conferencing, video calling and conferencing, file transfers, then message history. Next is instant messaging account. Participants messaging to each other need to be signed in to the same instant messaging software. To use instant messaging software, a user must have valid instant messaging account. Instant messaging accounts differ in formats. Some instant messaging software such as Yahoo Messenger, Windows Live Messenger use email addresses for managing the account, and software such as Skype use standard names. Instant messaging services are Yahoo Messenger, Windows Live Messenger, Skype, Rediff, etc. And the web-based instant messaging softwares are Meebo, Yahoo Messenger for the web, MSN Web Messenger, IMO, etc. Creating an instant messaging account. In this exercise, you will learn to create an instant messaging account for using Google Talk. Google Talk is an instant messaging service that provides both text and voice communication developed by Google. Google Talk can also be used for making video calls and to view updates from Gmail mailbox. Gtalk is free and is available as application based and web based. Before you are going to start with the Google Talk, a Gmail account is required. You have learned how to create a Gmail account earlier. In this exercise, you will learn how to use the Google Talk. Launching Google Talk. To launch Google Talk, click Start, Programs, Google Talk. Then you can also double click to the Google Talk icon on the desktop if available. You need to have a list of contacts that are available for the chat. Signing in into your Gmail account or Google Talk account. To use Google Talk, you need to sign in with your account details. After signing in into your Google Talk account, you should see a window similar to the one displayed below. Now the Google Talk application is ready for use. The next session is chatting with the contact, that is Google Talk. In this session, you will learn to chat with the contact that is already added to your contact list. Whenever your friend is in the contact list is online, you can see the person along with the green dots. You can start sending text message instantly by double clicking on the contact. A window will pop up as a displayed. You can type the text in the text box and press enter. The other person will see the text message and respond to your message. There are some general rules to be followed while chatting. They are almost the same as those that apply for emails. Messages should be short and to the point. Always introduce yourself by name if your screen name doesn't reflect it. Always ask if the other person has time to chat first, regardless of how important you think what you have to say is. It's not going to be well received if the recipient is busy. In a business environment, know exactly what you want to discuss. Typing your message in uppercase is extremely rude. It's considered shouting and very aggressive. Give people time to respond. Whenever possible, give the person you are communicating with your individual attention. It's not just a sign of respect, but if you have multiple conversations happening or are allowing other issues to distract you, you may miss an important point in the other person's messages or lose the gist of the conversation. It's important to properly end an IM conversation. You may think the chat is over, but the other person may not. While you are doing other things, they may be sitting there staring at the screen waiting for further communication from you. Next is chatting on the Gmail. You can also use the chatting services after signing into your Gmail account. The same procedure will be followed while making voice chats, text chats using Gmail account. Once you sign into your Gmail account, a contact window will be displayed either on the left side or in the right side within the browser. If you would like to chat with the contact, double click on the contact name. You will see the pop-up similar to one. Now next is chatting on the Yahoo. Having learned to use IM software, you will experiment with another. You will create an instant messaging account for using the Yahoo Messenger. Our next session is creating and publishing web pages blog. A blog is a discussion style site used by non-technical users for creating personal web pages. Blogs are similar to an online personal diary and simple to use. You can use a blog to convey messages about events, announcements, news, reviews, etc. Blogs are usually managed using a web browser, and this requires active internet connection. You can also use offline blog software to create content first and later publish the content when an active internet connection is available. There are hundreds of websites that offer blog services for free. Some of the popular blogs includes www.wordpress.com, www.blogger.com, www.blog.com, www.vb.com, www.blogsome.com. Next is creating a blog account. WordPress is a free web service that you can use to create a beautiful website or blog. WordPress has support for themes for customizing the design of the blog. Themes can make the blog or web page look attractive. Before you start using a blog account is required. To create one, you need a web browser and an internet connection. Open the web browser. On the address bar, you should now get to the page with the fields blog, address, username, password, email address, and languages. Blog address. You must provide a unique address to your WordPress blog. This is address which others will use to view your blog. Username. You should choose a username for managing this blog. Password. Securing your WordPress blog account with a strong password is important. A combination of uppercase and lowercase letters